For all of recorded history, humanity has done a really good job of figuring out how to attack each other. Every nation has devoted a lot of time and resources to creating and maintaining military organizations. But in the mid-1800s, a new type of organization was born, one dedicated to providing relief and recovery to people suffering. The founding of the American Red Cross was a turning point in the way our nation takes care of its people, and it wouldn't have happened without the incredible perseverance of a schoolteacher with no formal medical training named CLARA BARTON. CLARA BARTON was born on Christmas Day, 1821, in Oxford, Massachusetts, into an abolitionist family, and her love of nursing started at a very young age. She became a teacher at 17, and at 21, she started a school at her brother's mill for the children of the workers. She went on to start the first free school in New Jersey, but resigned after learning the school had hired a man at twice her salary. At the beginning of the Civil War, she was working at a patent office. When the soldiers of the 6th Massachusetts Infantry were attacked, she quit her job to tend to the wounded soldiers. She started providing supplies from her own home to spearhead a campaign of getting additional relief items to the front lines. Barton spent days with the homesick and suffering soldiers, helping them write letters to their loved ones and nursing them back to health. By 1862, she expanded to Maryland, Virginia, and South Carolina, and she was granted official permission to transport supplies to the battlefield and care for soldiers. This earned her the nickname, the Angel of the Battlefield. After the war, in 1869, Barton traveled to Switzerland, where she learned of a newly founded aid organization called the International Red Cross, founded by a like-minded Swiss businessman named Henry Dunant. When the Franco-Prussian War broke out in 1870, Barton joined them, wearing a Red Cross ribbon and helping deliver supplies and care to soldiers. Barton made her way back home, determined to start an American Red Cross. This would not be an easy journey. For years, she worked to build support by lecturing, writing, and even meeting with President Hayes until finally, in 1882, her idea was ratified by the Senate and the American Red Cross was born. On May 31st, 1889, the United States experienced one of its most devastating humanitarian disasters. Pennsylvania's South Fork Dam collapsed, sending a wall of water from Lake Conemaugh towards the community of Johnstown. Over 14 million gallons of water moved at 40 miles per hour and swept away almost everything in its path, killing over 2,200 people. CLARA BARTON, now the president of the Red Cross, had a vision that her organization could be something more than just wartime relief, but could respond to all disasters. So she gathered a group of volunteers and sprung into action. They left their headquarters in Washington, D.C., and arrived in Johnstown on June 5, 1889, just 5 days after the flood. One of the most important functions of the Red Cross following the flood was providing shelter. They set to work, providing materials and supplies to the devastated town. They used intact buildings to create makeshift Red Cross hospitals, which were used to care for the wounded and provided shelter for the townsfolk who lost their homes. Barton spent nearly 4 months in Johnstown, helping them recover from the horrific disaster. The Johnstown flood helped establish the American Red Cross as a disaster relief program, and it helped it gain its well-earned validation. In the years leading up to World War I, the American Red Cross continued to grow, introducing a number of initiatives, such as the Red Cross Life-Saving Corps, which taught people to swim and train lifeguards. They also launched public nursing programs. People were taking notice, and soon this volunteer effort started receiving millions of dollars in funds from public donations. During World War I, the number of local Red Cross chapters increased from 107 to 3,864. I'm not going to list all of the disasters the American Red Cross has responded to in the past 141 years, because there's over 3 million of them. In 2022 alone, they helped in over 60,000 disasters around the world. Remember, the Red Cross is not a federal agency. They remain a non-profit group that relies on donations to fund their operation, which means that it falls to all of us to keep it going. The American Red Cross was founded by people who saw a need and volunteered to step up to the challenge. Every generation since 1882 has continued to volunteer their time and money to keep the Red Cross afloat. That's why it's inspiring to see my generation taking an interest in this valuable organization. Even at my school in New Hampshire, students like my friend Maddox participate in an American Red Cross club.
I joined the Red Cross Club because at first I needed volunteering hours, but then I realized it was pretty fun, and actually one of my sisters started it here. So, I don't know, I've been enjoying Red Cross. I think it's fun. I think it's good for our community.
Thanks, Maddox. Keep up the good work. Since its founding in 1882, the Red Cross has transformed millions of lives by responding to disaster, strengthening communities, and helping those in need. If we all band together, it's my hope that we can keep Clara Barton's vision alive for generations to come.